Crypto VC funding tumbles as economic uncertainty starts to scare away a lot of investors. Welcome back to the Blockcash podcast channel. Let's talk crypto. Make sure to check out our sponsor, BENFT. They're revolutionizing education using DeFi methods and artificial intelligence AI. Make sure to check them out. All links in the description below. Also, check out our Patreon. We do chart analysis Monday through Friday, and you can get access to analysis before it ever gets onto YouTube for the price of a couple of cups of coffee. Check it out. Links in the description below. All right. So this isn't something completely new. We saw this over the spring. We saw a lot of VC funding actually shift to Europe for the first time in many years, way outpacing the US given the regulatory concerns. June rejected the 3-month trend of rising VC investment into crypto, though that's not necessarily a bearish signal. So we're going to talk about whether or not this is something to be concerned about, because the backbone of what funds and fuels crypto is investment, VCs. When you see a downtick in that, you see a downtick in development. You have to be able to pay people and keep a company going in order to build out a protocol. You have to pay developers and architects. All right, you have to have a functioning ecosystem. So let's talk about it. The month of June closed out down 29.73% in venture capital investments, just 779 million raised in 62 individual deals, according to Cointelegraph Research Venture Capital database. While the United States Federal Reserve halted interest rate hikes in June, the macroeconomic climate remains unchanged due to geopolitical uncertainties and continued efforts to tame inflation across the globe. As the data shows, investors remain cautious and in risk-off mode in June, with the growth trend of the previous 3 months coming to a halt. However, it's not necessarily a bearish signal according to these guys, as the overall trend for 2023 is still upward, plus the recent batch of Bitcoin exchange-traded ETF applications from the likes of BlackRock, VanEck, WisdomTree, and Fidelity, as well as Ripple's legal victory over the Securities and Exchange Commission, have helped brighten the mood. So going to July, the stats might be much, much better. So VC inflows into crypto over the last 12 months. Here's a diagram all the way from back in June of 2022, when that's the last time it really was peaking out at around $3.5 billion. The moving average shows a massive decline since July of last year, with the absolute low being in January of this year. Then we start to see things kind of start to make their way back up. A lot of uncertainty in March as well in the banking system. And then come into May, much better. June, still low. July is yet to be in the books, but we did have that $54 million investment into Futureverse. I don't know if that's going to count or not, but it'll be very interesting to see. What I do like is what has happened in July. I think the Bitcoin ETFs are going to go through soon, and I think that'll give people a lot more confidence investing into this industry at the moment as we pull out of a bear market into a bull market. I also think that Ripple beating the SEC in part helps tremendously, and Bitcoin's continued strength climbing and sitting around $30,000 is also very appealing. So July might be a completely different story, but nonetheless, it has declined a lot. And that does hurt a lot of things in crypto, especially in the US. But it doesn't hurt crypto overall in general. Cointelegraph, they revealed through their research that the breakdown of deals in June didn't drastically change, and that the investment focus of VCs remained relatively stable. Stable, but not what they used to be. Blockchain infrastructure still led the market with 20 individual deals and over $493 million in funding. DeFi won back some ground with 20 deals and over $144 million invested. Surprisingly, Web3 was less popular for venture capitalists in June, with $100 million over 18 deals. But, these things take time. We're measuring these things month over month. Things can change very, very quickly. Let's see. Here's 5 sectors for VC crypto investments: Web3, NFT, CeFi, DeFi, and blockchain infrastructure receiving the most. NFTs taking the biggest hit. Right, seeing a lot of strength in DeFi and Web3. Let's take a look. So the largest deal in June was Islamic Coin's 200 million raise from Alpha Blue. Shout out to Islamic Coin. They will be joining us for Block HashCon 2023 in November, so that'll be fun to talk about. And let's see. 43 million for Jensen deal led by A16Z Crypto. Mythical Games raised 37 million. Okay. Let's go back a little bit to the spring. So while March, April, and May saw VCs increase their capital inflows into the blockchain space, the trend was rejected in June, signaling that more uncertainty may lie ahead. However, slight deviations month to month are less important than the overall trend, which is steadily rising, with the spot ETF filings and Ripple SEC lawsuit yet to impact the crypto venture capital market. July and August are expected to offer indications of which will have greater weight: general macroeconomic conditions or crypto market hype events. I think it's always a combination of both. I think the crypto market hype events really depend. I don't think it plays as big of a factor as it used to in the past, but they definitely pile up and really start to build up that demand. General macroeconomic conditions are becoming more and more important, I think. As things stabilize in certain areas, you see inflation coming down and the Fed pausing on rates, which was a problem all spring. You see regulations start to come a little bit more into the picture. That stuff seems to be helping crypto a lot more than a hype cycle. Nonetheless, the biggest mover is always Bitcoin's halving date, which is coming up in spring of 2024. And generally shortly after that, we start to see a real impact on the price. So don't count out the hype events. They still matter quite a bit. But no, this is something to keep a very close eye on, because I think for July, things will be relatively fine. But I know for certain a lot of VC investment has moved outside the U.S. because there's just too much uncertainty. They're not comfortable with what's going on in the U.S. And there's bills on the table right now. There's court wins. There's a lot of crypto companies like Binance, Coinbase that are fighting the good fight, Gemini, to really bolster crypto and show the support in the space and that they want things done right. So all these things are factors. We have to watch it very closely. It is very low. May was probably the better month since September of last year. September saw a lot of interest because of Ethereum 2.0. But we'll see. I think July is going to be a better month. Honestly, I think we get well over $1 billion in VC investment for July when that's done, because we're still in July. But for the time being, we'll just keep a close eye. Comment your thoughts down below. I really do think investment in this space is critical at this stage, pushing it forward. But I also think that a lot of money is just going to flow in regardless into these projects. I think it's coming. Because we're now in a bull market. It's just going to be a very slow climb until we get back up. So comment your thoughts down below. Like the video, share with a friend. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you so much. Again, you guys are the best. This is why I do what I do. And I'll be back tomorrow with another great video. Take care, guys. Cheers.